Hey there friends, I'm Russell and this is Descended Masters channel because of course we are all Descended Masters on a journey of remembering who we are. Now today's meditation is on power, personal power, and I wonder what comes up for you when you think of the concept of personal power and what happens if you mentally say to yourself, I am powerful. Now, why am I thinking about this? Because I was meditating on this idea of power, because I've been going through a period of feeling powerless in some aspect. So I tried on the idea of I am power, or I am powerful. And as usual, when I did this, some resistance comes up. So as I'm talking, I wonder if you can tune in with in your heart and in your being, what happens when the idea of I am powerful comes up. And if you were to say that powerfully, I am powerful, does it feel to you true, or true with mixed feelings? Is there some reticence there? Is there some little part that warns you? So that is the interesting part that we want to become aware of. So when I tune into I'm powerful, part of me says yes, and then another part says no, that's ego. And then even beyond that, if I look deeper, there's another part that says power is not for you, and power is something to be avoided. So I've known this for a few years because I meditate on the subject, that power is something that I would wrestle with, because there's something in me that is wary of it. And I'm speaking to those for whom it might also be true that power, your personal power, is something that is felt not to be trusted, or not to be avoided, or to be regarded as warily. Okay, and why might this be so? Well, look inside yourself and see perhaps, is the fear of power because you have observed it in others being misused? And if you look deeper in that, is it perhaps that you yourself feel perhaps a deep suspicion that perhaps you have misused power, if not now in this lifetime, then in others? So I'm speaking to you, and I'm speaking to that part of you that is that one who once perhaps used power in not the most enlightened way, or the most enlightened that you knew at that time, but it had consequences which you regret. And so what happens is you separate yourself from that and vow, I will not be powerful again. So feel inside yourself and see if this is true, because this message is for you then. Now first, where does this come from? Well, I have one theory, one feeling. If you're open to the past lives, if you're open to especially the idea of the Atlantean episodes, you don't have to have this in your history. There will be perhaps histories, your personal histories of a karmic history, where you would have an encounter with power, either being powerless or having abused power, or using it wisely. So the one story is that Atlantis was a time when those of us who were quite already mature souls, you could say, but we were psychically quite advanced. But because of the psychism, it lent itself to abuse of power, because even now you go to the mind, if you want to solve something, you'd use power. So if you have psychic power, it's very tempting to use it to get what you want, to use it against somebody, or even just to use it to force something through. So using force there, psychic power. And when that collapsed, there was a strong feeling of we don't want to do this again, and we want to go more into the heart. And the way to get into the heart then is to be incarnated again in the human, in this world again, but without that psychic power, without the recourse to that power that we misused, so that we could learn humility. So then what happened is that lifetimes of humility came to us, And these were often where we were the victims. So in most recent past lives, you might have a sense of you being a victim. If you resonate perhaps with like being burnt at the stake, that, or lives in religious orders where you had to pursue humility, or you were persecuted for beliefs, these would be the most recent lives. So in there is a feeling of the powerlessness. So here you were taught, you live through, I am not powerful. Others are more powerful than me. And the religious ideas would have enforced that you have to be humble and without power, so you can give up power. But now you come to this life when you find that it's not the answer, because now we're powerless. Now we're unhappy, depressed. We're not living our light. So now's the time to re-engage with that power and find that power that is of God, that does come from the heart. So I'm just saying this just to tune in, and if this doesn't resonate, if that particular history does not resonate with you, it's fine, leave it. But find the part of you that has been a victim, and then go deeper and find the part of you that has been the enforcer, the abuser. It'll be there somewhere. If you have an issue with power, you will have been on both sides of this. So now how do we bridge this gap and reconnect to that power, so we can say clearly, I am powerful. I am power. So now to this morning's meditation, where I was dwelling on this and being curious. So first thing is to invite in that part that is wary of power, that has disowned it and disavowed it. So yes, you're worthy, there's justified reason for this. So come into the space and we're listening to that part. And just being witness. It's not hard work, just witnessing and say, oh, here's this part of me. Here's this possible history of me. So then it brings acceptance to it. So already in that witnessing, you are becoming one step more abstract, one step higher in consciousness, as it were. Less involved in the story and closer to power, which is awareness. So you're just doing that. And then you can start connecting to what is power truly. So when I meditated on this, what came to me was the book Power versus Force by David Hawkins. If you haven't read it, it's quite a good read. And his whole thing is he uses kinesiological testing to show that certain ideas have lower force or lower power than others. So at the bottom you have apathy, despair, things like that. Then you rise up to pride, joy, love, and those ones. And they have a higher creative potential. They have higher power. So his thing is that we're so used to using force, which is forcing through something. But there is this hidden power that is available to us in the implicate order of nature, of reality. So it's like the powerful ideas, and the power is in the meaning, So if you have a powerful idea of like love, like all men are born free, all people are born free, that is a powerful idea. If that motivates a country, that becomes a powerful country, because it is motivated by that powerful idea, which is high up on a scale of this power. So herein lies an answer for us, which is in separating out that part of the power that we use, which is of force. So separate out the force aspect of it from the power aspect, which is the idea of a thought form, of a truth form, and then to reach for the even higher version of it, elevate that. So if you thought, you see, the difficulty, the challenge why we fell into this is because power and force get easily quite intertwined, and it's difficult sometimes to know the difference. For instance, if you look at, let's use an example, Germany in 1939. Now, in that Second World War, that German army displayed itself as perhaps the most effective fighting force the world has ever seen. They took on just about everybody. And they came from 20 years before humiliating defeat in the First World War, where lots was taken away. That peace that ended that war was not in their favor at all. It was humiliation. In 20 years, they became the most effective fighting force in the world. Now, listen carefully. I'm not endorsing everything that happened there. I'm saying this is how easy it is to mix up, because this is in our personal history. We've all done something along those lines. So in that story, one person comes along with a powerful vision, and he says to those people, you feel shame now. We will never again feel this shame. I'm calling on you, on your nobility, and to rise above this, and together we can do something extraordinary. Now that's wonderful stuff. That's power, words of power. So this person, of course, I'm talking about is Hitler. So he's using words of power. He's harnessing higher attractive pattern ideas. But, of course, we know that it's perverted by force. So it's all well and good saying, yes, let's lift ourselves up. You can see the power of what they can do. The moment it becomes, now we are better than them, it falls away into force. So now you have to force your way. Now you've got to invade other countries and imprison people and eliminate people, and that becomes very dark. But in there is a kernel of power, true power. So what happens is, if that is in your history, then you'll say, I totally disown power, because look where it got us, because the Holocaust, it was terrible. So what we've got to do is that we have the same thing. This is us, the metaphor of us. You've got to go back to that moment and say, within that, there was something of worth. Let us claim that. The power of together, the power of we can do, the power of we can rise up. And then higher. Of course, you can take it higher. There wasn't very high attractive patterns anywhere in that bit of history. Even in Atlantis, there were similar things that happened where it looked good in the beginning. It's like any cult as well. It looks good right in the beginning, makes you feel good, because there are real attractive patterns in there of high level attractions, of real concept of power. Maybe not the highest power. So they feel good while you're in there, but then they're perverted. So that's a little thing that we have to engage in. And I think now we have the humility and the wisdom to see the difference. The moment when you start to use force to get your way, that's where you fall off. That's where you've abused power. But power in itself is our nature, is our higher nature, is our spiritual nature. So if you can say, I am power, I am powerful, yes, because I can connect with powerful ideas of love, peace, healing. I am well, I am abundant. This is your power. And it's gentle power. You cannot force. You see, your job is simply to resonate with the power of this idea. I am well. I am abundant. I am powerful. I can radiate power. This power, I am not in control of what it does in the world. So that's where you let go of the force aspect. I am power, but I don't know how this works out. I trust that there's a higher power that works through this. So now can you feel into, does it begin to become more clear that I am powerful can become true for you? And you can separate out yourself from the past where it was abused, or you felt you had to become the victim to pay for what you did. So let's collapse all that duality. That becoming powerless is not a low vibration attractor or power pattern. It's low power. It was necessary for us to get back in the heart, to go through that. If you abuse power, then what you want to do is to be abused. So you can feel it in your body and say, okay, that was not impeccable. I don't want to do that again. But now we've got to regain power. So I think it's to become powerful, not in the way of politicians not in the way of any force. It's a power of, I don't know how this works out. I don't know where this is going, but I trust it is good because I am, and I am power, and I'm connected to the power of God. Greater awareness coming through me, power. I am powerful. I can heal. I am healed. I am whole. So you can be, even if you're ill, you can say, I am whole. I am healed. I am well. I am wellness. I am healthy. Yes, because you are well now, regardless. You might have cancer. I don't care what's in your body. You can disregard that because you are power. You are well. The you that is listening, hearing, and absorbing is that awareness that is well, that is the truth, that is you are well, you are healthy, you are abundant, you are worthy of forgiveness. Nothing needs to be forgiven, in fact. Can you sense that? There's a power in there, but it's a quiet power. Perhaps you've never used it before. I think it's new in humanity to have this level of power that has not anything to do with force and does not force its way through, but takes a back seat and just radiates power. So you're not concerned then if you have cancer with how it progresses. Is nothing to do with you. That is the business of the body and decisions taken at your higher level. But you can still connect to the truth is I am power, I'm well, I am abundant. So it doesn't care how much money you have. You can connect with that power. I am abundant. Yes, you are. You have awareness. That's all. It's full stop. Just I'm aware. If you can say I'm aware, yeah, because you're aware of this lecture, this gospel, you're aware. So that is power. The power is on. The electricity is on. It's like your screen that you're watching. It's on, right? Full stop. It's just on. You are on. The power is on. You have the power. Don't think about it, just feel it. I am powerful. Yes, I am powerful, and I don't mind how things turn out, because I'm still power. That power cannot be erased by any circumstances. Somebody can imprison you because you can't control all that stuff. You can still be powerful. Sometimes the greatest power is in surrender, like the image of the cross, the crucifixion. That can be an image of great power, because yes, I have the power to be me. I have the power to be in spirit, even while subjected to that duality. Force comes in when we want to have an outcome. If we think we know what's best for the world or for ourselves or for others, and we force it through. But if you can say, I'm so powerful, it doesn't matter what happens. That is true power. So now we can regain that power. I'm so powerful. I'm in touch with bliss, with God, no matter what happens. I am well. I am power. All you have to do is resonate with that. That is the highest level of attractive patterns. When you do that, then things start to work out. But without you having attachment to how they do work out. If you have cancer, you might still die of it. But you'll die of bliss. You'll die complete. Doesn't matter how it turns out. If you can get that, then you have power. So I am powerful. So today's meditation for all of us is I am power. I am well. Does that feel in you more clear? It feels clearer to me. Thank you for listening.